name is Evan Zislis. I'm a professional organizer and a life strategies consultant based out of Aspen, Colorado. I'm also the author of the Amazon bestseller called Clutter Free Revolution, Simplify Your Stuff, Organize Your Life, and Save the World, as well as the ebook Aphrodisiac, Clearing the Cluttered Path to Epic Love, Great Sex, and Relationships That Last. I'm here to give you another quick tip to jumpstart your new year. And today we're going to be talking about the difference between excess and abundance. Now, this is a tricky one. For me, there's something about excess that implies some toxicity. It's too much. So the example that I use a lot of times is when we inhale, we're taking in these oxygen, and it turns into carbon dioxide in our lungs that we have to expel. Now, if we don't, that toxic gas becomes poisonous to us. And so we have to expel that. And when we have so much around us, it's like it becomes this toxic atmosphere that's all around us, and it doesn't enable us to function in a way that is healthy. So abundance is kind of the opposite. Abundance is having a sense of gratitude for having access to that which is needed when it is needed, and not a single thing more. Now, that's tricky for a lot of people. We're kind of living in this American Walmart, supersize me, all-you-can-eat mentality. And basically what we've done over the last several decades is convince people that more is better. And so they've accumulated, and we live in this accumulation-based culture where people are just amassing more and more and more and more. And there's very little thought and very few systems designated for getting the things that we no longer need out. So what do we end up with? Clutter, disorganization, stagnation, and that has huge impacts on wide swaths of our life. Everything from fitness to nutrition to relationships, productivity. Did I say fitness? So all of those things just become liabilities to us. They're just encumbrances. So abundance implies that we have that which is needed when it is needed, and there is this authentic sense of gratitude that comes from having access to those things. So the truth is, the fewer things we have, there's this really interesting scale. The fewer things that we have, the more their value goes up. So if I have 100 pairs of jeans, I might value 2 or 3 of them, but I don't have the same kind of value that I do if I own 2 pair of jeans. So if I have 2 pair of jeans, I really have a lot of value placed on those things. If I only have a handful of possessions, you bet I'm going to really value those things a lot more than if I had closets and closets and boxes and storage units filled with things that I kind of have access to, but they don't really mean that much to me. So that's kind of the fundamental difference between excess and abundance. What I say in my book, Clutter Free Revolution, Simplify Your Stuff, Organize Your Life, and Save the World, is that, okay, follow me on this one. So some people need to hear this a couple of times, and I'm going to say it twice. So the intentional absence of excess creates the tangible space for abundance. And I'll say that again. The intentional absence of excess creates the tangible space for abundance. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here's a room, and it's just filled with stuff, and it's just overflowing, and it's stagnating, and I got, it's just too much. It's just spilling out onto the floor, and it's just everywhere. And this might cost me a lot of money. I'm paying a mortgage on every square inch of my home. I want to maximize every square inch of that home. So with this much stuff, it's really hard to feel abundance. It's just too much. I got all this shit in my way, quite frankly, right? So what do I want to do? I want to get rid of that stuff. I want to be able to come in and I want to be able to enjoy the handful of things that I truly love and value. So if I'm able to be really intentional, I've got just a beautiful piece of art. I've got, me on the floor playing with my kid, and the dog is curled up on the floor, and now I feel a sense of abundance because I don't have all this crap in my way. Does that make sense? So that's kind of the difference between abundance and excess. It really starts with gratitude. And if you don't feel in gratitude about a specific item, it's time to let that thing go. And there's probably somebody else that could take advantage of that particular item more than you, and you'll feel good about yourself by sharing it with somebody who needs it more. So thanks again. This was just a quick tip to get you jump started for the new year. And clutterfreerevolution.com. I look forward to seeing you again next time.